The Super Eagles of Nigeria face off against the Leopard of the Democratic Republic of Congo in a crucial CAF World Cup qualifying final match at the Rabat Stadium in Morocco. 8 p.m. kickoff Nigerian time. The Super Eagles of Nigeria came into this game riding on a high confidence after a 4-1 victory over the Panthers of Gabon in the first semi-final encounter before the Democratic Republic of Congo upset the indomitable Lions of Cameroon to pick the second semi-final ticket to face off with the Super Eagles of Nigeria in the final, with the winner advancing to the Interconfederation playoff that will be hosted in March 2026 in the United States. So going into this particular encounter, there is a lot to actually play for, because both teams, talking about the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Democratic Republic of Congo, missed out in qualifying automatically from their various groups during the group phase of the World Cup qualification. So, still en route to qualify to the 2026 World Cup. It's still through the playoff round where the best losers, the 4 best losers in the continent of Africa, were paired into semi-final matches, and the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Democratic Republic of Congo actually picked the ticket to play in the final. So the winner will actually take the ticket to represent CAF in the Interconfederation playoff, alongside one team from Asia, one team from South America, one team from Oceania, and 2 teams from CONCACAF, which is the North or Central America and the Caribbean. So that will make it a total of 6 teams that will be participating in the Interconfederation playoff, with the exception of a team from the European continent. So welcome to my channel. In this video, I'll take you through the preview between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Going into this particular encounter, the Super Eagles of Nigeria are coming into this particular game full of confidence, having right over the Panthers of Gabon in the semi-final game, over 120 minutes of football, defeating the Gabonese team by 4-1, while the Democratic Republic of Congo defeated the indomitable Lions of Cameroon by 1-0. So coming into this particular encounter, there is everything to play for, and the Super Eagles of Nigeria are definitely coming in a high confidence with the hope of picking the CAF ticket to represent Africa in the Interconfederation playoff. Coming into this game, the Super Eagles head coach, talking about Eric Chell, definitely talked about the game against the Democratic Republic of Congo, but admitted there were a couple of mistakes that was made, that we were not clinical, we were not sharp in the semi-final game against Gabon, and admitted that going into this final game, the team will be more sharper than we actually saw before. But one thing is definitely certain going into this game: the DRC is not going to be a pushover, as they have actually shown resilience and consistency during the playoff, right from the group stage to this final game. Defeating the indomitable Lions of Cameroon was not a pushover, as the head coach of DRC, who is known for a defensive counter play, have actually shaped his team, knowing fully well what to expect from the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Definitely, the Super Eagles of Nigeria is going to approach this particular game in a high-pressing game with DRC expected to sit in a low defensive block, with being marshaled by their team captain, talking about Chancel Mbemba, that actually scored the winning goal against the indomitable Lions of Cameroon, hoping to capitalize on the experience of the attack line being led by Cedric Mbanku. So, going into this particular game, I expect a formidable setup from Eric Chell in his selection to ensure that while the Super Eagles are actually pressing, dictating play against the DRC, the defense line are well focused, full of high concentration, in order not to give chances for any counter play by the DRC, because definitely the DRC are definitely coming to sit and defend, hoping to counter the Super Eagles. But one thing is pretty sure: if we look at how the Super Eagles set up last time in our game against the Panthers of Gabon, in goal was Stanley Nwabali, the right back was Osai Samuel, the centre back pairing were Calvin Bassey and Benjamin Frederick, while the left back was Seydou Sanusi. The midfield pivot was anchored by Wilfred Ndidi that played the deep-seated role, and Alex Iwobi, who was actually driving around with his creativity. The left wing was Ademola Lookman, the right wing was Samuel Chukwueze, while the central attacking midfield role was played by Akko Daniels, and up front was none other than Victor Osimhen. A couple of changes is expected going into this particular game, in my opinion. I haven't heard from the team manager that Simi Ajayi, who was actually suspended in the semi-final game after picking up 2 yellow cards during the group phase of the qualifying matches, returned to the squad and will be part of this game for selection. But then, it was actually good to see the setup we actually used in the Gabonese game. I mean, the players, everybody was on their toe, and everyone actually gave good account of themselves. So, coming into this particular game against the DRC, in as much as I will expect 1 or 2 changes either from the defense line or in the midfield as being reported, because Wilfred Ndidi, that actually captained the team against the Gabon against the Gabonese side in the semi-final, was actually picked a yellow card. But there was a debate whether it will be present or whether it will be present for this final game or it will miss the game. But reports have it that he has been cleared to be part of this final as the booking in the group phase cannot play a part in the playoff round. And I think, in my opinion, that is the ideal thing to do. The group phase of the qualification was completed. So any card that was picked from that stage, to me, ended there. It doesn't have to stick count over, or it doesn't need to continue over in the playoff round. So I think if the report is anything to go by, in my selected 11 for the Super Eagles going into this game, I'll still retain Nwabali in goal. The right back, I'll go with Benjamin Frederick to allow the centre-back pairing to be Calvin Bassey and Simi Ajayi, who just returned. And Seydou Sanusi will retain the left-back position. The midfield role, if Wilfred Ndidi is not suspended because of the yellow card he picked in the Gabonese game, then I will still retain Wilfred Ndidi to play the deep-seated role in the midfield, the defensive midfield role, and Alex Iwobi to play the number 10 role. Left wing, I'll still go with Ademola Lookman, and the right wing, I'll still go with Samuel Chukwueze. The attacking midfield role, I'll give it to Akko Adams, who played behind the striker, and up front will be Victor Osimhen. But if Wilfred Ndidi is actually suspended for this particular encounter, then Frank Onyeka will take that defensive midfield role. A very good midfielder as well. So there is no cause for alarm. If Wilfred Ndidi actually take part, good and fine. If he will be missing through suspension, then Frank Onyeka will take that midfield role in my predicted 11. And as such, what we need going into this game is for the Super Eagles to fly high at the end and pick the ticket to represent Africa in the Interconfederation playoff. Going into this game, the DRC, talking about the Leopard of the Democratic Republic of Congo, they are very good defensive-wise, and I'm pretty confident up front also we have Victor Osimhen, who is definitely going to be a big threat to the defensive line of the Democratic Republic of Congo. So Victor Osimhen's presence alone will definitely keep the defense line of DRC on their toes, because they know what can come out of Victor Osimhen. And if they feel they want to actually be a clog on Victor Osimhen, that will definitely create way for Akko Adams to definitely cause the damage. So I think everything, the statistics, the odds favors the Super Eagles of Nigeria to pick the ticket and went to the Interconfederation playoff and also pick a ticket in that particular playoff round. So I think the Super Eagles of Nigeria have just one going for them. And I hope to see a very attacking kind of football, but with full concentration in the defense line, with no gamble. All players should be at their door. I expect the Super Eagles defense line to be at their door, because while the Super Eagles of Nigeria will be pressing in a very high tempo, dictating play, keeping the possession, the Democratic Republic of Congo will have their eyes set on counter-attack. And that is what they are known for. That is their best tactics. They can actually come into this particular game. And they will be relying on the experience of a 34-year-old Cedric as their center forward to lead this counter-attack. And so, Calvin Bassey and Simi Ajayi, who will be the center-back pairing, should just be on their toe, knowing fully well that going into this game, just the way we approach the game against the Gabonese side, the Super Eagles of Nigeria should, while we mount pressure, pushing the DRC backward, the full-back and the centre-back pairing should be on their toe. If we are going, we can evolve, with a transition of three men at the back. If the right back, talking about Benjamin Frederick, will also join the attack line and we transit in that particular formation, it will be good to see, adding more pressure on the defense line of the DRC. But then, with full concentration at the back, should DRC have any loose ball they will want to use as a counter play. So I believe the Super Eagles have everything to play for in this particular encounter, and we stand a chance to pick all 3 points and get the ticket and win this final game. So my prediction for this particular encounter definitely is going to be tough. In my semi-final prediction, I predicted the Super Eagles of Nigeria to actually win by 3-1, and it ended up 1-1 in regulation time, and we went on to win by 4-1 after extra time. So I see this particular encounter to be very tight and keenly contested. The Super Eagles of Nigeria will defeat DRC by 2-0. That's my prediction. What will be your prediction going into this particular encounter? Drop your thoughts down below. And who will make your Super Eagle 11 as we go into this World Cup playoff final? Drop your thoughts down below. Let the conversation continue from there. Thank you very much for watching, and catch you in the review after the game.